Hello. Um, Let me just see here. Is this working? Um, can you guys hear me? Probably a good idea to set up my headphones to actually, use this computer instead of my other. So that is, okay, let me check. Say in the chat if you can hear me, if I'm, if I sound alright. I'm just checking the chat right now. Okay, yes, so thank you. Let me try and pair my headphones. Some odd reason I don't have it paired to this device. We'll be starting in a minute, once I've done that. Yeah, we've got some interesting stories today. But yeah. Yeah, how are you guys doing, this Sunday? Anything interesting happening? Yeah, I mean, I don't know anymore. Okay, interesting. My headphones do not want to pair with this. Yeah, I'll be back in a moment, guys. So, yeah. Hello. So I have finally got my headphones paired. I have got my notes right here, and we can actually start now. So that's good. Nothing in the chat. Okay. I'll load up the first article that we're covering today. So, of course, I put in the title of this video about Sony announcing their new handheld Project Q. So I'll open up the article here about that. So let me get rid of that. So Sony's new Project Q. So this was announced this week, and alongside another product. In fact, we're covering that a bit later on. But yeah, this is meant to be a handheld device, which was announced at this event. And effectively, it's just a big display with a DualSense controller. It's kind of a big display in the middle of a DualSense controller. So this is meant to be a handheld device that works with your PS5 using Remote Play. So if you've ever used Remote Play before, it's effectively a way that you can play using another device on your PS5. So you have to be connected to your local network for this device to work. And of course, this isn't the first handheld made by PlayStation or Sony. Of course, there's been the PSP, and of course, in the more recent past, there was the PlayStation Vita, which of course didn't see massive success. However, of course, it had its market, and there were people out there who quite liked the PS Vita. So, for those out there who kind of miss the PS Vita or the PSP, this might not actually be the device for you, given that it actually requires the PS5 to be able to actually work. So if you wanted a dedicated handheld which you could play anywhere with, then this clearly isn't the handheld for you, because yeah, you have to be connected to a PS5 at all times for this thing to work, and I think it will have quite a niche market. Of course, you know, this article compares it to the Wii U tablet. And of course, the Wii U wasn't a smashing success. It was quite a flop, the Wii U. But of course, even the Wii U had its follower base. But of course, I don't think this will be a great success, given the past of different kind of handhelds which relied on a dedicated central console, not really working out historically. So I think long term this probably won't work out. But hey, who knows? The future is unwritten, and who knows, maybe this will become a very popular handheld. Maybe people will start buying them, a lot of them, and maybe, you know, this will just become a very, very popular device. Who knows? But I am quite skeptical. Anyway, guys, if you have any thoughts about this, then please leave them in the chat, because I will, of course, be reading the chat while we do this stream. So, let's get on to the next story. Another PlayStation story, because we're gonna kind of talk about the 2 product launches from PlayStation in a row, just so we can get them out of the way, so we can talk about other subjects. So there's the PlayStation Bluetooth earbuds. So, why didn't I link the source? Oh my god. I really should have linked the source. Also, apparently I haven't been recording before now. So, you know, I'll start recording on OBS. But yeah, of course, with live streams, there are always these kind of, you can always make mistakes, just like that. In fact, that was a mistake. sorry, welcome back, guys. Hopefully you could hear me for the last 2 seconds or whatever. But anyway, as I was saying, there are definitely bloopers in live streams, so of course you can't avoid those. But, yeah, sometimes you just forget to do things. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's talk about these Sony Bluetooth earbuds. So, I'll actually pull up the article here, given, apparently I didn't put it in the notes for some reason. I had a source, and then it just had nothing underneath it. So let me pull that up right now. Here's The Verge, you know. Why don't we use The Verge as a, news outlet for this one? Yes. Oh, or I could just go directly to The Verge, but I don't like MSN. I don't not like, yeah. I don't need to use MSN for this one. Alright, look, I'll use the MSN link, okay? So yeah. So let's actually discuss these earbuds. So these earbuds have been released by Sony for the PlayStation alongside this new handheld device. And, of course, they're meant to work with this new handheld and, of course, the existing PlayStation 5. So these are some Bluetooth wireless earbuds. So, of course, Sony already make wireless earbuds with the XM4s. The earbud XM4s. In fact, I've actually got a pair of headphones by Sony on right now. But anyway, that's off topic, isn't it? Let's not ramble here. Yeah, so getting back to the topic of the PlayStation earbuds. They are promised to offer lossless audio and low latency. So that's the current lineup from Sony. We currently do not know when these will be released or actually, any real details about them apart from the fact that they're meant to work with PC, PS5, and this new Project Q thing. And yeah, apart from that, we don't have any details about the release date or the price, just like with the Project Q. And of course, we don't even really know the name. I mean, we don't know the name of the Project Q either, given that Project Q is clearly a placeholder name, given that, you don't usually call something Project something and then just keep the name. Usually there'll be a name afterward. So there's a lot of unknowns with these new products being launched by Sony. So yeah, that's an interesting one. But now we've finally covered the Sony stories. So of course these earbuds and the actual handheld, this new handheld thing, the Project Q. So if you want to if you've actually been watching. If you watched the actual Sony presentation on this, then give your thoughts in the chat, because yeah, I didn't watch it myself. I mean, I've just been reading the news afterwards about it. So yeah. But yeah, do leave your thoughts in the live stream chat. But anyway, moving on to the next story. So, this is to do with a screen recorder app. So, of course, your innocent screen recorder app, or maybe not innocent, depending on the app. But yeah, this is a story to do with an Android screen recorder app gone rogue. Yes, so an Android screen recorder app actually tracking users recording their audio. So this iRecorder app went rogue a year ago. Oh great, loads of ads. So basically it was on the Play Store for like a year, and then suddenly they rolled out an update which actually added malware to the app, and basically once that happened, it started recording your phone, using your phone mic every I think it was every minute of every 15 minutes. Yeah, right here. Every 15 minutes it would record a minute of audio, and then it would send it off to remote data servers. So probably the malware producer, the malware distributor. Here's the actual Ars Technica article here. But yeah, so this is clearly an example of where a normal application, an innocent application, went rogue after an update. And the only real moral from this tale is probably that you should check the app permissions that you give apps on a regular basis, so you don't end up unneeded. So you don't end up basically giving an app unnecessary permissions, or yeah, basically just so you don't end up with an app which might go rogue, having too many permissions on your phone. So of course you should regularly check whether all the apps on your phone are safe. And for companies like Google, I think Google should actually, do better malware scanning of applications coming onto the Play Store. Now, of course, if you use a third-party app store, you won't be able to use those protections. However, hopefully, you just exercise some common sense when it comes to what apps you're downloading. And just keep on top of the apps which are more unknown which you use. But yeah, this is quite a hard one to mitigate, apart from maybe just staying away from apps which you're not totally sure about. Although, of course, that is quite hard on new and up-and-coming developers who might not have as many downloads in the Play Store as the big developers. But, of course, you do have to exercise some sort of caution when it comes to apps you download. I mean, yeah, I've downloaded a lot of apps in the past, and, yeah. Yeah, you ought to be careful, guys, with what apps you're downloading. Yeah, but apart from that, and, just checking your app permissions regularly, and making sure you don't have unneeded apps installed, which could become vectors for malware. Yeah, that's pretty much it, isn't it? Yeah, so let's get on to the next story, guys. Yeah. I'll just check the chat quickly. Have anybody said anything? Okay, somebody said, be back later. Okay, so I'll see you later. Yeah. Yeah, let's just, let's cover the next story. We're on to the open source app releases. So I've got one release that I wanted to cover this week. So it's KeePass XC, a open source password manager for Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. A cross-platform password manager, a desktop password manager, which is quite popular in the open source space. Yeah, they've released a new update. So here's the link here. I disagree. Yes, so they've released this new update, which basically is a small incremental update. However, the main feature you're getting here, is being able to actually choose whether to allow screen capture. So whether you can actually capture screenshots for a whether you should allow screenshots to be captured in the application. So right now, it just blocks all screenshots from being taken of the app. However, with this new update, you will be able to allow screenshots for a temporary period of time. However, right now, this feature is only on it's only on Mac OS and Windows, so sorry to all you BSD and Linux users. I don't know why I included BSD first. Linux users mainly, but of course there's BSD users as well that would also use this application. But yeah, so basically, if you want to take screenshots of this app, if you're a Linux or BSD user, sadly, right now, that is not an option. However, for you Windows and Mac users out there, like me, and right now, then yeah, you can actually take a screenshot of the of stuff within the KeePass app, and you will actually be able to do this now, whereas previously there was no way of actually doing this. Now, of course, from a security standpoint, if you're allowing anybody to take a screenshot of your passwords, that wouldn't be secure. So, of course, you should be very careful with this feature. Make sure you don't end up screen sharing your passwords on Discord or something like that. Or letting random apps, screen share and take screenshots. And if you let that happen, then maybe your passwords could be compromised. So I would be very careful with this one. But yeah, it is a cool feature for people who know what they're doing. Now, the only other real features of this release are an improved layout for HTML export, and also now apparently TOPT, apparently now the max TOPT step is now 24 hours. I don't exactly know what that will actually do, and of course this release also adds some actual improvements to the look and feel, to the look of the KeePass logo and icons. So if if you didn't like the look of the KeePass logo, or the KeePass XC logo, then you'll probably still not like it, but you might like it a bit more if you're currently a fan of the logo. But yeah, so this is quite a small release, not really that many new features, although there's a few in here, and of course, as always, you can download, you can download KeePass this new release of KeePass XC on Linux, on via an app image or Flatpak, or from your repos on your specific distro. Or, of course, you can compile it from source, as this article says. Or you can download it on any of the operating systems it supports. So there's quite a few which it supports, and you can use them on all of those. But yeah, give me your thoughts in the live chat. Do you use KeePass XC? Do you enjoy it? Do you think it's a good password manager? Is it better than like Bitwarden, if you've tried that? Yeah, just genuinely curious. I've used it before. It's a pretty cool password manager. Some cool, a cool way of storing your password securely. And yeah, it's just a nice piece of software in general. Yeah, I'm actually considering making a video on KeePass XC. I mean, I know there were other Linux content creators that have done videos on it, and other content creators that have done videos on it, but I think it might still be beneficial to take a look on my channel, take a look at this password manager, because yeah, it has a lot of great features, and I do really like it. But yes, now moving on to the new section. The section that's never been on Sandro's week roundup before. A section you may not have heard of. The Windows news. So this is... I've never covered Windows news as a dedicated section before. There's one story this week, although I could cover another one if I wanted to. In fact, I might do, actually. But this is the one story that I've got in my notes. I'll bring it up here. It's right here. It's about the fact that somebody, oh god, the light theme, somebody has actually cracked the Windows XP activation for offline use. And now, so this is pretty cool if you were planning to use Windows XP and pirate it. However, of course, as you all know, I do not like piracy. I think that it's wrong to pirate things, and of course you shouldn't pirate things because you don't want to be breaking the law. However, this application does exist, so it appears that this app was actually originally made as a kind of torrent download, and of course nobody really downloaded it for a bit, but now apparently somebody on Reddit has actually publicized this application to generate Windows XP activation keys, basically crack the activation system. And now there's even a user on Discord, not on Discord, on GitHub called Neo Desktop, which has actually said that they are going to try and reverse engineer this program to make an open source version. So if you were planning to do that and you're planning to crack Windows XP activation keys, of course previously there were just activation keys on the internet which you could try and use. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. I don't know how I know that though, because I've never done anything with Windows XP keys. You know, of course, I would never infringe on Microsoft's copyright. So, yes. But yeah, I do know that there are Windows XP keys, which, you know, there were a few which worked and a few which didn't. However, now there appears to be a way to crack the Windows XP keys without the activation system, without actually having to guess a million different keys using random online forums and weird websites. So yeah, so for all you out there that apparently want to, you know, pirate Windows XP for some odd reason, apparently now you can with ease. And of course this is great for the software preservationists, people who want to preserve old software, because of course not so many people use Windows XP anymore, and I do doubt whether Microsoft will be that bothered about this story, given that they gave up on Windows XP in 2014 when they finished the security updates. They said no more security updates, apart from quite a few times. So, of course, the most recent security update was back in 2019, when an exploit came out for Windows XP, such a critical exploit that they actually released a security patch for it. They even released a security patch for WannaCry back in 2017. So, of course, Microsoft still released some support for this legacy system. However, you know, you can't really be using Windows XP anymore for secure applications, and unless you apparently want to try some old software out, or maybe, you know, just have a bit of nostalgia or whatever, then there's not really much point in using Windows XP. However, for you people out there that really enjoy using Windows XP and want to continue using it for the rest of your life, then apparently you can now do that with these new, you know, this new activation exploit. Now, of course, if you owned a legit Windows XP key, then this wouldn't be a problem. However, some people apparently just want to pirate keys, and that is just sad. Anyway. So apparently Windows XP in 2021, this is a fun fact in the article, you know, apparently in 2021, Windows XP remained the most popular operating system in Armenia. So, of course, if you live in Armenia, there's a chance that you might still actually be using, you know, Windows XP, maybe at your workplace. Because apparently, according to this study done by Spiceworks in 2019, 1 in 3 US businesses still ran Windows XP. Well, I think it is mainly business users these days that use Windows XP, because there is legacy software out there that doesn't work on more modern systems, and of course it didn't work on, you know, later versions of Windows, and people like the old kind of, you know, reliability or not reliability, you know, you get my point, the compatibility of Windows XP to run their software, and so they actually just stuck with Windows XP for all this time, And of course, that's a really bad decision from a customer security point of view, from a business security point of view of not getting your whole entire network hacked. However, if you want to go out there and use Windows XP, then Godspeed to you, because it's not the most safe thing to be doing. But if you're doing it in a VM, then I'm sure it's fine. Or if you just have it, if you don't care about your network security, it's fine. But yeah. Yeah, an interesting story here. It will be interesting to see whether a reverse engineer, whether there will actually be a reverse engineered version of this program to generate these Windows XP keys. Oh, actually, I think it's just to bypass activation in general. So if that does come out, that will be kind of interesting to see how that one works. But of course, it's kind of illegal. So yes. But yeah, Windows XP, it seems like an immortal operating system in the sense of people continue using it, even though it's old, it's totally out of date. You really shouldn't be using it from a security point of view, from being able to actually run any modern apps point of view, from actually, being compatible with modern devices. But, the people out there, some people just continue using it for whatever purpose, and yeah, you can still use it if you want to, although it's not the best idea. Anyway, I'll check the chat now. Any thoughts? Okay, so All-Star here in the chat is saying that, so it said, hello, Sandro. Yes, hello, All-Star. Yeah, so basically, you've said, so Enderman, let's go. Oh yeah, Enderman, the Windows, well, I think they just generally make YouTube videos about all sorts of topics to do with security, Windows, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, previously, you also just said in the chat, All-Star, it would be nice if they had mobile apps and an easy way to share databases between devices. Yeah, that is one thing with the previous story, with KeyPass. That is one thing that I wish they did implement. I wish they actually had a way for you to be able to actually sync things between devices. Now, of course, there's the security aspect of that. It would have to be peer-to-peer from the security standpoint of, of course, they want to keep everything secure and they don't want to rely on a central server. So, offering sync functionality may, hinder that, might hinder their efforts in that. But of course, Bitwarden managed to do it, and yeah, they could securely do it. It's just, right now, apparently they haven't done it yet, so it would be a cool feature to be able to sync things between devices. So if you were able to sync between all your devices, your Mac, your Linux computer, your Windows computer, your BSD computer, then that would be pretty cool. That would be a nice feature. However, for now, that's not a feature on KeyPass. And I think, from a security standpoint, they would probably want to implement some sort of peer-to-peer system, so you could actually share it just between you and, your other devices. However, that might be a tricky thing to implement, so, they might be waiting to try and do that, or maybe they haven't even been working on it. Who knows? Probably the people on the GitHub, actually. Maybe if you check it out on GitHub, you might be able to find out if they've been working on that. Anyway, I think that's it with the stories, apart from maybe one last story. Maybe we can sneak it in. Maybe we can actually, sneak this little story in. So, okay, why don't I do this in a separate tab, just so I can quickly pull up the story here. It's to do with Microsoft Windows. Yes, everybody's favorite operating system in the whole entire world. Yeah, so they are integrating Copilot into, Windows. So this is a very interesting development, quite a big story, I could say. So yeah, let's pull up the story on CNET here. So, Windows Copilot is a new thing that will allow you to basically talk with the Microsoft AI. So, of course, they have been a big contributor to the OpenAI project. And this new AI Copilot, this new Windows Copilot, will actually rely on OpenAI to actually, respond to these queries. However, of course, they have to tweak it quite a bit to be able to handle system interactions. Because effectively, this new Copilot, this new Windows Copilot, will actually allow you to ask it questions about your system and be able to actually, change settings. It can suggest you music, apparently, summarize documents, offer tech support, all sorts of fancy stuff. And yeah, it could be really helpful for people out there who might not be so tech savvy and just want to get a problem fixed quickly and just want to click a button or type a query in and actually get an AI to fix their problem for them. So yeah, this could be an amazing feature if it's implemented properly on Windows. So yeah, I do think this is actually quite a neat idea. Imagine just being able to say to your, whoever you help with tech support, just say this to the AI, and it will actually help you and do the thing for you. Because it could, of course, handle the system interactions. So you could change a setting just by writing in a query. And you would no longer have to open up the settings app to do so many things, Yeah, it will be really cool. And, yeah, I think this will definitely be a good feature. I think this will actually be something that will be popular, more popular than Cortana, although that's not saying much. Since Cortana kinda wasn't popular, but yeah, of course, Bing AI, the Bing AI has actually been quite a hit, as in, people been using it and trying it out, and of course, it has a lot less restraint than the OpenAI default ChatGPT. So I think that will definitely be a factor for Microsoft's potential success in the AI space. People, enjoying it slightly more relaxed way of dealing with things. Aside from the times it says just, I'm gonna stop responding to anything you say because you said one word I think sounds slightly offensive, and that could technically mean that, I'm trying to bait it into saying something bad, so then it just quickly, says, sorry, I'd rather not complete this interaction. And yeah, that can happen. So let's hope it doesn't happen in Windows, or else that would be weird. Yeah. But yeah, I do think it would be nice, to be able to actually, oh god. Okay, my stream resolution isn't great, is it? Anyway, it would be cool to be able to actually interact with, the Windows, we'll be able to, cool to be able to interact with Windows settings in, without actually having to, be able to go, without going into settings app, be able to maybe even do registry edits without the settings app. The registry editor, I mean. And yeah, it would be cool overall to be able to just do stuff without having to go through complex menus, and it will be a great help for all those people who, aren't so tech savvy. Maybe they're not sure where that exact menu is. Now they will be able to actually, actually be able to, ask this AI what to go, what they basically ask the AI to just change the settings for them, so that will be a good development. Anyway, guys, I think that's it. I would like to cover, before I end the stream, yeah, I would like to cover the fact that I have actually won. Sorry about the stream resolution. I did not see that before. If somebody in the chat had said the stream resolution is terrible, then maybe it could have been better. But yeah, it's yeah, I think yeah. Anyway, nobody's watching now. But yeah. But yeah, anyway, so last thing, guys, so of course, I released this week a video covering a Russian app store, so the biggest app store in Russia called Store, and I couldn't find an English language video covering it on YouTube, so I decided, you know what, I'll just do it myself, and yeah, I did it myself, and it was, you know, it was it's a video, you know. If you if you enjoy it, then that's good. I spent quite a bit of time working on it, just looking at different Russian apps. You know, trying to understand how the Russian app ecosystem kind of you know, trying to understand the different apps in the Russian app ecosystem. For example, like VK, the social media app. Like OK, the kind of another social media app, you know, trying out the Yandex app on mobile. Of course, I've used Yandex before. And yeah, just trying out all of the different apps on the App Store just to get an impression of what this App Store was about. And then, yeah, I spent some time looking at this App Store, you know, it was quite fun, kind of, and yeah. Now you've got a video on it, so you don't have to download it yourself if you don't want to, and you can get an idea of what the App Store is all about. And yeah, so you can find out what the Kremlin-backed App Store, you know, the kind of the Russian government-backed App Store is actually doing. And yeah, that's you know, the main kind of idea of the video. You know, I just wanted to look at a app store, and I decided to choose this Russian app store for this one. However, in the future, I will be making more of these app store reviews, so make sure to check them out, so you can maybe, you know, when they come out. So I think I will maybe do a poll on it, maybe in the YouTube community section. I don't know. But yeah, I think, you know, I'll probably cover a Chinese app store next. Maybe I'll cover one of the open source app stores, such as Aptoid. So yeah, so I'm quite interested in all the different app stores on Android, and I want to show you guys all the different options you have to download apps on Android outside of the Google Play Store, outside of the kind of walled garden. And yeah, of course, the App Store, the Google Play Store is great for many things. However, you know, you might not want to use the Google Play Store, so you can go to all sorts of alternatives. And yeah, I just want to cover some of them. And, you know, some of them, of course, you know, most Westerners won't be using the Roo Store or any of the Chinese app stores. But I just want to kind of give, you know, tell people, you know, on English-speaking YouTube all about these app stores which aren't widely covered on the main YouTube, you know, English-speaking YouTube site. And yeah, overall, yeah, I just want to make some cool videos about those things. So yeah, so I think I might cover this app store next. Aptoid. So yeah, so this is an app store which has quite a lot of apps on here. It's based out of Portugal, I think. And yeah, I think this will be one of the app stores I check out, because it's got quite a few apps on here. Which you can download, and you know, it's quite an interesting app store to check out, and they've been going for quite a while now. And in fact, the F-Droid app store, which some of you might have heard of before, you know, the open source app store, is actually based on, sorry if the bass was a bit loud, based on the actual, actually based on Aptoid. So, of course, Aptoide is open source, so you can make your own version of Aptoide, and that's what F-Droid did with their open source app store. Only open source software is on F-Droid, and yeah, a pretty cool project. Both of them are pretty cool projects. Of course, F-Droid became a fork of, of Aptoide many years ago. I think around 2011, 2010. Yeah, 2010, that's it. So in 2010, they forked, they forked Aptoide, and they actually made this new app store. And of course, since then, there's been some changes to both of the app stores, and they both do their own thing. F-Droid with a heavy focus on open source apps, and Aptoide with a focus on these kind of free apps, these more proprietary apps. And yeah, you can download a lot of apps off Aptoide if you want to, and F-Droid has a lot of quality open source apps. So yeah, so they both have their own kind of cool features. But yeah, guys, I think that's it, guys. Of course, as always, you can check out SandroLinux.com. I will be updating that with some new blog articles soon, I think. So here it is here. And yeah, of course, I enjoy making this website. I enjoy doing stuff with this website. So yeah, so just check it out if you haven't already. If you want to get some updates on the channel, you want to keep up to date, you can subscribe to my RSS feed. Let me try and get to it here. Here it is. You can subscribe to sandrolinux.com/rss.xml. So if you go to this link here, seen on screen, then you can actually, subscribe to my RSS feed and get the updates when they come out about my latest videos, my latest blog posts, and my latest thoughts on things, and updates to the channel. So this is really a key hub for, information on the channel, and just to see what's going on with, stuff that I'm doing. So yeah, I'll be updating this RSS feed with the Roo Store video and this live stream link. So make sure to check that out a bit later. Yeah, RSS is pretty cool. I use it to stay up to date with news quite regularly, I enjoy RSS feeds just for the simplicity. You can put all of the news sources you like in the RSS feed, reader, and you can just get the news straight, without any sort of algorithm or filters or anything. So yeah, that's quite nice. If you don't want a big tech platform like Google, kind of looking at what articles you're looking at, and kind of trying to determine what articles you'll be shown. If you're not into that, of course there are advantages to being able to kind of see the articles that you might be interested in. But if you're not into that, then RSS is a great alternative. And of course, you can set up your own RSS feed very easily. And of course, I have an RSS feed right here, which you can subscribe to. I've had an RSS feed for quite a while now, so you can check it out. But yeah, anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna kill my voice if I continue on any longer. I'll check the chat just in case anybody said anything interesting, and just see what's going on. He says it's fine. He said it looks fine. Well, it probably doesn't look great. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so, at least on my end, it doesn't look great, but who knows, yeah, so sorry about that when it comes to the stream. However, for you guys watching after the fact, I know you didn't get the first half of the stream, however, at least you got it in a nice quality, hopefully, and yeah, anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's little live stream. You know, I try and do these every weekend. I'll try and do them more and more. You know, people can tune in and listen. Next time I'll be coming with a higher bit rate to YouTube. But yes. Yeah, anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and peace out. Yeah, and always, as always, guys, remember that it's at 5 p.m. UTC every Sunday. You know, you better be checking out this live stream every weekend if you want to. You know, you can, or you can not, you know. But yeah, I enjoy doing this every weekend, guys, and you know, it's something fun to do as alongside my regular video and news content. You know, also doing a little bit of a stream now and then. And yeah, it's quite fun. So yeah, I'll try and do this in the following weeks, guys. And yeah, it's cool to cover the latest news in this kind of format. And you know, I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Yes. But yeah, I'm going to wear out my voice if I continue speaking. I'm speaking quite loud at the microphone. I know. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, guys. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. Hopefully, you're having a good day. Hopefully, things are going well today. And, yeah. Yeah, I'm having a good Sunday, personally. Anyway, guys. I'll see you later. Yeah, basically until the next one, guys. Just goodbye.